to that handsome stud over there.
Stand up.
We actually got married because of winter camp. That's when we started talking. So, anyway, I wanted to share a testimony of something awesome that happened in my life recently. I think it'd be pretty encouraging for you guys. So to give you some background, we live in Chicago, but we live in a suburb called Naperville. It's about 35 miles from the city itself. I'm in finishing up pharmacy school. There seem to be a lot of pharmacists here, but we have to do rotations the last year of pharmacy school. And I had a rotation at this hospital called Cook County Hospital. It's a hospital where all the poor people go, everyone without insurance, everyone that's on the verge of dying pretty much goes there. So it was a really rough rotation. My commute would be like 1 to 2 hours every day. My preceptor was really mean. It was just a really rough time, like 2 months of, feeling really down, really stressed out, a lot of things going on in life, and my spiritual life was suffering, definitely. A lot of times I'd be like, oh, why did I choose this site? Why am I going through this? This is awful. This feels like torture, like waking up at 5 every day. But anyway, so every day I would, when I'd go home, I'd walk to the train station, and it's called Union Station, and every day there'd be, right before you enter the doors, there's this homeless guy with some newspapers, he's selling newspapers for 75 cents, and every day I would walk by him. And he'd be there, rain or shine, if it's freezing outside, it gets really cold in Chicago. And he'd always be there, and I'd always look at him. And then, after a few weeks, or it was the Friday before Christmas, I walked by him, and it was really, really cold that day. I was like, oh man, I feel so bad for this guy, I'm gonna go talk to him and buy a newspaper. So I walk by him every day, and, he's doing this, like 75 cents per newspaper, I don't know. He's homeless, or if he's on drugs, or what's his situation. So I went and talked with him, I bought a newspaper, and then in the end I was like, oh, I gotta promise you, you're gonna go to church on Christmas. And he's like, oh, okay, I will. And I was like, oh, I don't know if, he's probably not gonna do it, I don't know what his situation is. Anyway, so a couple weeks passed, and then I would walk by him again once rotation started back up again. And I don't know if he remembered me. I always wear a neon yellow hat, so I was like, oh, he can't miss me. He has to know it's me. But he didn't say anything. He would just kind of look at me. And then after about 2 weeks, this past Thursday, I was walking by him to the train station, and he's like, oh, hey, aren't you the person that told me to go to church that one time? I was like, oh, yeah. Did you go to church? He's like, yeah, I went on Christmas, and I've been going every Sunday since. I was like, oh man, this is crazy, stuff like this never happens. I always had a problem witnessing people. I was always scared, I didn't know what to say. So I thought it was really amazing. And then we had a conversation for 10 to 15 minutes outside in the cold about God and Jesus and what he thought and his relationship. And he obviously had a lot of doubts and questions, and it was just crazy. People always say when you witness to someone, God will give you the right words to say, and I guess I never really understood until I talked with this guy, because I was just starting to say all these crazy things, all these verses that I never read, or I haven't read them in months, and haven't thought about them in a long time, and I was just saying them right off the bat to this guy. His name is Brian, by the way, he's really nice. And yeah, so it was really awesome to see that he actually went to church. He's been going to church every Sunday since. I talked with him. He's going to come to Founders Week with us, I guess, which is the first week in February. All the pastors come in Chicago and preach. So yeah, I just wanted to share the story with you guys. I was really stressed out, having a hard time, and turns out that this whole time God was orchestrating this event to happen, and with this guy, and for me to talk with him, and the Holy Spirit told me to turn around and talk with this guy, and turns out that now he's going to church, and now he's interested in Jesus, and things are looking really good. So just wanted to share this and encourage you guys. Don't be afraid to, when you feel that calling to talk to someone, don't be afraid to answer it and share the good news with people. So.